I'm Don Bivens. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. I've got to give you a tip or two about technology, at least as it works for me. I'm at the point in my practice where if I have a significant motion, and certainly anything that's significant in the trial, if I can't think of a PowerPoint way to present it, I don't present it. It is that easy. I think that the PowerPoint is something I wouldn't pay anybody else to do either. If you can't get your paralegal or your own self up to date on it, take an hour and do it, because it's that simple. I just tried a case in federal court in Phoenix where I had a very complex series of chemical reactions I needed to talk about. And I found that I could actually come up with a cartoon version of PowerPoint by flipping the pages fast enough. And I would indicate that to you as a tip, because it's not just a frozen image up there. You can, by virtue of flipping them fast enough, create motion that goes across the screen, and at least in terms of describing chemical bonds and chemical reactions, in this case that I just did, it worked very, very well. I also would not be afraid to experiment with the clip art. There's lots of clip art right with PowerPoint or out there on the net, and just a little interesting image, even as something as staid as a courthouse or the patent office, or a little bit of humor here and there, will make your presentation more personal and more memorable. I think also, in terms of technology that works for me in the courtroom and stuff that doesn't, I think if you've had the privilege of having an Elmo in your federal court system, as we do in Phoenix, it's pretty good, but it is not as effective as a presentation with PowerPoint in my experience. And I would urge, in terms of trying to figure out how best to present that PowerPoint, I would stay away from the large, huge screens with the liquid crystal displays, the green, red, blue. Those are appropriate perhaps in a teaching context with hundreds of people, but in the low light, the regular light environment of a courtroom, stick with a big screen TV. And typically what I do is just go rent one if they don't have one already in the courtroom. I think you'll find less resistance too from judges. They've seen TVs, and you'll be able to put it on the screen. One last thought, I guess. If you have a big screen and everybody's watching, you're sort of in control of where people will watch on that screen by virtue of your hand. I found in this recent trial, where all the jurors had screens, that I had to be more careful about where I directed their eye. And you need to be thinking in terms of just break out some white circles, break out some different colors or underlinings or arrows. Otherwise, you're going to have people up here in the left-hand corner when you want them to be looking at the right, and you can't walk over to each screen and say here, 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 here. So that wasn't something I realized till I got there, but now you know, and you can do it in advance.